Hey everyone, it's Miss Malia, and I'm sending this video in to you from my house. I'm at home, just like you guys, and even though I'm home, I'm still thinking about you all, and I want to keep doing garden class so that you can stay on top of garden class topics. So when we left off, we were tapping maple trees, and so I have a book today to share with you called Maple Syrup from the Sugarhouse. It's by Lori Lazaro Knowlton. Pictures by Catherine Mitter. Maple trees slumber while the winter winds whistle and whirl until Kelsey feels the sun pushing the cold aside and sees the snow melting, drip, drop, dripping, and the ground below thaws. Is the weather right for a sap run? Kelsey asks Dad. And Dad nods. Freezing nights and warmer days. Kelsey follows Dad trudging out to the woods filled with sugar maple trees. Dad says, since last year's harvest, the maple trees have grown and stored summer sugar through the chilly fall and icy winter. That stored sugar is now ready to be collected. Dad stops at a maple tree. Where is last year's hole? Kelsey asks. It's healed over like a scrape on your knee. Dad drills a pencil-sized hole into the giant sugar maple tree. Kelsey hammers a metal spile into the hole with a tap, tap, tap. Then she hangs the first metal bucket. Sap droplets drip, ting, ting-a-ling, a-ling. We need to keep moving, Dad says. We've got the whole sugar bush to tap. All day, the trees drink up moisture through their roots from the freshly thawed dirt. All day, the sugar-rich drops of sap drip, drop, drop, drip out of the spiles and into the buckets. All day and into the next day, the sugar bush camp grows. Mama welcomes grandparents, aunties, uncles, cousins, and friends who bring food-filled coolers and their helping hands. While Kelsey waits for the sap to fill the buckets, she helps sterilize bottles and stack wood by the firebox, and then plays tag with her cousins, Farah and Gwen, until Dad, the buckets are full, Kelsey announces. Throughout the sugar bush, everyone works together. Some gather the filled buckets, while others lift the buckets and pour the sap into the storage tank on the back of the tractor. Kelsey leads Farah and Gwen to return the empty buckets back to the maple tree's spiles. Then everyone moves to the next section of trees. Until hours later, the buckets have been emptied and the holding tank is full. Kelsey hears the tank's sap splish, splash, sloshing all the way to the sugar house. There, Dad starts the pump to suction the sap through a filter into a larger holding tank. Gravity pulls the sap down through a pipe to a long, flat, warming pan. Below the pan, flames from the firebox heat the chilly, colorless sap, sending it swirling into the evaporator. How long before it boils? Kelsey asks. Soon, Dad says. Kelsey watches the maple steam roll, rising to the roof vent, then out to the night sky. Look, Dad, the sap's rumbling, bubbling, and boiling. The water in the sap is evaporating, raising the sugar content. Kelsey passes wood to Dad to refill the stove, keeping the fire white hot. Mom passes out hot cocoa, and everyone tells stories to pass the time. More sap is added, gallon after gallon after gallon. Little by little, the sap changes from clear to golden amber. Dad takes a spoon and places a drop of sap from the steaming evaporator pan onto his sugar gauge. He checks to see if enough water has evaporated to leave maple syrup. Everyone waits, but Dad shakes his head. We need to keep boiling. An hour later, Dad tests the sap again. We're getting closer. The rumbling of the boiling sap is the only sound now. Everyone snuggles in sleeping bags, and adults take turns helping keep the fire hot until Dad tries again. It's maple syrup. Time to pour. Dad opens the pour valve on the end of the evaporator. The sap flows down through a filter into the canning pan. Everyone jumps into action, filling bottles, twisting caps, line them up. Until the first run of maple syrup is bottled and cooling. Kelsey and Dad sit down with family and friends to enjoy a breakfast feast of pancakes, sausage, biscuits, coffee, and ice cream, all smothered in liquid gold maple syrup. Kelsey snuggles up with a blanket while the morning birds chirp. She dreams about the sleeping maple trees awakening, singing their ting-ting-a-ling, drip-drop song until the buckets fill again. And that is the end.